Hello. Overtime complete. Knitting begins. Hey, well, that's all out of the way now. So, back to it. I think where I left off last week. Um, yeah, I think I've just gotten to hemming, doing the bind off for this hem. I've managed to get around most of it. Just got this little bit to do. Oh dear. Yeah, came off shift a few hours ago, so had a little nap, and I'm ready to go. um, I don't know what that was. But yeah, so I did eventually get the hang of this. Um, I think where I was going wrong was every time I was starting off trying to do um, the bind off is the positioning of the yarn when I'm threading through, and I was getting it all caught up, so it wasn't looking right and getting jammed and all sorts like that. But I think I managed to get there in the end. I think it's probably not perfect, but it's 90%, 80% okay. um, so yeah, so I'm just gonna quickly finish this off, and then we can make a start on the sleeves. Yay! All right. So glasses up, tapestry needle in hand. I think it's a tapestry needle. I mean, it's just like it's only like a cheap plastic thing, but I'm guessing that's still what it is. Not fancy or anything like I see in all these videos, but yeah, I'll crack on with it. Fast forward now. Yeah, what keeps coming away. Um, yeah, obviously you can see that's what's come away from this. And focus up on that, yeah. But pop that as on so I can see. This yarn, after going through all that, you see how ragged it's looking now. It's so stretched. I think after traveling through all of this so many times, being pulled through, it's just kind of, I think it's just wearing thin. Be surprised if the whole thing holds together in the end. But yeah, it was so going for most of it. But yeah, it's I think I don't think I'll be using this much of it. So hopefully this lot of that'll be in there will be fine. It'll just be this dead end that I can just chop off and forget about or weave in, however it finishes. I've yet to watch the end of the video, so I'm doing it step by step. Yeah, so I'll get back to finishing it off. Um, this is going to take a little bit, so I'm going to finish this, and then I'll come back when I hit that point, and we can go to see. Boom. Done. This is the last bit now. I think essentially join this through. Apparently it should pull the other stitches together. Like so. There you go. All this. Oh, it's grown even more now. All the cast-offs from this wool. It's just it's literally dead. But at least it's done. I'll just weave that in. But yeah, so there you go. I've got my edges done. You'll see some of the knots in there from I'll have to deal with as well at the end. But yeah, see that's all there. Oops. Yeah. So back in a moment. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this or not, but this is me picking up stitches on the sleeve. So I'm going to switch to the pink, hoping this looks all right, rather than I think with when I move to the blue, you kind of have those little bits coming in there. So I'm hoping it doesn't turn out like that, but we'll see. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing under the stitch on here, wrapping the yarn around. Get it like that, and then pulling it. Well, technically pulling it through. Am I going through the right hole? Yeah. Going through there, wrap it around there. It's getting caught on one of the. Not going through the yarn properly. It's splitting it. Wrap it around. Put it through. Now, is that right? I have no idea. But yeah, I'm going to go through, do those underarm stitches, and then knit through. I've got my needle here ready, join up with the main part. should hopefully be enough, and it'll look okay. But after that, then I'll knit down away and kind of see how wide the sleeve looks. And if it's looks too wide, I might then start decreasing it a little every few rows, so that then hopefully it tapers down as I go. Not sure where to do the increases though, whether, I don't know, do you do them along the side of the arm? Do you do them on the inside? I don't know, because I'm guessing it'll be noticeable, but we shall see. Okay, there we go. So that's those ones picked up. Now I shall start knitting back on the initial edges. Why is that? Shouldn't be coming through as pink. Going through there, wrapping around. Oh, there we go. It's just, again, this wool, it just seems really splitty. Maybe it's because it's chunky. There's so many strands. It's just easy to catch, especially where, as you saw, I've already kind of picked this off the pink. It just seems to, I don't know, is shed the right word? Yeah. But yeah, it's getting very fluffy. This thing's already got just lots of bits of fluff on it already, just from where it's rubbing together. So yeah, I'm going to go through and carry on with this. Let's see how much I get done today. Still need to make progress on making videos or editing videos. Ooh, come up here a minute. Ooh, too close. Ah, there we go. Look, you can see all over there. Yeah, so I'm still not kind of making progress on editing the videos. I'll probably try and do some of that tonight as well. Maybe do that in the evenings, and I knit during the day on my days off. I've got to try and work it into my routine. So I'm more than happy to spend all my time just doing the knitting, and I'm filming all this stuff, and nobody's ever going to get to see it because I'm too busy knitting to actually edit the video. So yeah, so again, this is another video where I still actually haven't made one yet. So, um, but yeah, so I'm gonna see if I can kind of work it in there. Um, but yeah, it's excuse me, it's weird doing it for myself rather than doing it professionally. Um, I think it's so I've made videos before, kind of like, so I was in marketing and stuff like that. I've made edited videos and put them out or whatever. But they're more structured. They kind of work from a script, whereas this is just really ad hoc. And then trying to like cut out all the bits that I think are kind of like a bit. Does that need to be in? So I think it's going to take time for me to get used to that. So the first videos may be a bit rough and ready. Apologies for that. But hopefully by now, by the time you're seeing this one, I'll have gotten into a bit more of I don't know, a routine, or starting to find a bit more of a style of the voice. Yeah, but we'll see. I could just be talking into the void. So yeah, I'm still getting used to talking into the camera. It's like when I look at myself on here, I'm looking that way. So I need to remember to look here at the actual lens. No, I just want to look at myself. So, the lens. Anyway, um, right, I shall carry on knitting and pick it up later. Okay, right. So I've knitted a few rounds, well, two or three maybe of the sleeve. So coming on okay, but I, I think I found out why the cable on my previous needle broke, because if you look, it's about to happen to my brand new one. Joyous. So it's either two things: either just the tightness and the stiffness of this wool, or if you see how I hold it, I'm holding it like that. That kind of butts up against my hand. So I think when I'm knitting, it's like digging in there and just destroying it essentially. And look, it's like it's so ready to go. Oh, there's me thinking I was so clever splashing out on a decent something decent, and my big fat ham hands are just ruining everything. Oh, oh, there we go. It just went. Oh dear. Buns. Am I just doomed? Am I not allowed to knit chunky sweaters? Ugh, I don't know. I do still have the spare one, or because I got the two, didn't I? So make it like 3 meters to knit the body. I'm just using the 1.5 here. I've still got the other one, so I can go and destroy that one now as well. But maybe I just need to buy these things on like subscribe and save or something on Amazon. Just kind of like one a month or something, because that seems to be the rate that I'm going through them. Ugh, so annoying. I mean, I could live up to my nom de guerre and try and repair this. See if I can find a way to, extract that cable and then put that end back in. So it'll probably go into like one of those boxes, like like you have with your phone cables, and it's just like, yeah, just in case, I'll get round to like sorting it out, but it just might come in useful. So obviously, I need to start one for things that I've broken whilst knitting. Contents currently 2 cables. Ah, anyway, I'm gonna have to try and either rethread this with the other cable. Yeah, because I'm right at the beginning of the round. Look, I've got, and it's the knitting end. Yeah, so it must definitely be my hand because it's always at the knitting, where obviously I don't know what do you call the different hand placements, but my left hand where I'm picking up the stitches rather than the hand where I'm moving the stitches to. So it's that hand that's doing a lot of the work sometimes. This one's just kind of going in and pulling out, whereas this one's trying to work the thread and push it up and off. Ugh. Okay. Well, back to sock knitting. Okay. Well, I'll see if I can locate what I've done with that other cable. Could be around here, close by, and pick it up from there. It's just a freaking money pit, isn't it? Ugh. Now it's time to try on this jumper, see what the sleeve looks like. Knitted a bit more. Oop. Get a bit more slack on the yarn there. Oop. Okay. So, not the most impressive. It's obvious you can see the jog there and there. But yeah, so here's the sleeve started. You can see the progress made on it. So I'm wondering whether that's too big or not still. I think maybe I need to at least put a couple of decreases in as I go down. Obviously, you can see how skinny my arm looks in there, Obviously, there's going to be loads of room, isn't there? That. So then we'll look a bit too blousy if it's just like puffy bit at the top and it's a bit skinnier down towards my wrists. I don't know, but it's all a journey. Oh, as you can see, I've got the I didn't want to sacrifice any more cables for my needles, so I decided I'd try. I had like the full set of like these bamboo DPNs. I'd try doing it with the DPNs. Maybe that's stretching it out a bit. I don't know. But yeah, I think I think I will put a couple of decreases in along the way, and see how that progresses. At the end of the day, it's all a learning experience for now, isn't it? Look at this collar though. I'm thinking maybe when it comes to redoing the collar, I might actually turn it into a hoodie. What do you reckon? Obviously, this collar comes way down here, so maybe if I bind it off down here, and then just do some increases up to the back and gradually kind of make it bigger. I'll end up with a hood. It's like almost seems like half a hood now, to be fair, you know. But yeah, well, I think yeah, I think it is a bit too big. What does my arm look like underneath it? Yeah, see, yeah, I think that's gonna be too big. So I'm gonna start putting some decreases in. In terms of these needles, it's actually all right. You know, I wasn't sure. Obviously, I've enjoyed doing it with the socks, but yeah, it's a bit tight. I think if I come a bit closer, I don't know if you can see if it's obvious or not, but to me it seems like you see from about here, where I switched over to the DPNs, the stitches seem to be a bit tighter. I don't know if it's just me or not, or if it's just because I've switched wool. Because the first part was left over from the bottom here, and then I switched to a new ball. So maybe the dye lot is slightly different, or if it is just the DPNs are pulling the stitches tighter. But we'll see how it plays out. There we go. So that's progress. Not sure how the blue looks on the end. You know, I think maybe it's a bit too bright considering these are I don't know what you call it. Certainly, I think the green works well with the pink, but the blue seems to pop a bit too much. It's almost as if maybe like the blue might have been better as the stripe here, but again, I just don't think maybe the blue works next to the pink. But I don't care. You know, at the end of the day, you know, I may go out in public with this, but it may just be one of those things I wear around the house in winter that keeps me warm. So we'll see. Yeah, so there we go. That's progress for now. I'll check in once I've done a bit more on the sleeve and see how those decreases work out. Okay, so it's a bit later in the afternoon now. So I've carried on doing this sleeve to give me a bit more progress. As suspected, it is pulling down on the shoulder a bit, so it's not sticking out so much up here, which is great now that the sleeve is kind of weighing it down a bit more. I've been doing decreases every third row, and it's still looking a bit big, so I might have to speed up the rate of increases, I think. Now that my arm's in there, you can see if I can squeeze that around my arm. That's how much bigger than my arm it is. So yeah, definitely need to start decreasing quicker, I think. So it's too one row is going to be too quick, isn't it? It's going to be too sharp and a decrease. So maybe I'll go for every other row for a few more rows, maybe down to about here, and then I'll go every other row so that it starts to pull in around my wrist. Then, now I don't mind. I quite like long sleeves, so I might go quite a bit way down, um, and we'll see how it comes together. It still looks quite long, isn't it? So quite large. So I'm guessing, you know, obviously when I was knitting it, I thought, oh yeah, you know, do I need to knit the initial part of the raglan, do the increases down so I can pull them in somewhere around here. But maybe I should have pulled them up a bit higher because my actual underarm is here. So I don't know what I was doing that it was only around here that I was able to uh, join it up. maybe I just wasn't pulling it properly when I was doing it. So something to think about for the future. Um, yeah, so I'm quite pleased that that I've pretty much made this much progress today. I think yeah. So if this probably be like a week per arm. Obviously today's Wednesday. I've got maybe Thursday, Friday, and then there'll be the other arm next week. So well, we'll see. Maybe as it's reducing, it'll go quicker because obviously it'll be less stitches in each row. So yeah, that's probably about where today's going to end for me. Um, yeah, I don't think I'll be the most fashionable, unless I can start a new trend for like really weird baggy looking clothes. But yeah, yeah, everybody's gonna be wearing these fat sleeve hoodies, man. Yeah, wow, I'm gonna be so trendy, man. Maybe not. Anyway, let's see what happens tomorrow.